Namaste and welcome to Power Yoga, Child's Pose. To come to a Child's Pose from hands and knees, bring the tips of the big toes together, separate the knees as wide as you comfortably can, walk the hands out in front of you so they're shoulder width apart, spread your fingers open as wide as you can, get a good grip on the towel or mat like you're holding onto something heavy with the hands. With the eyes open, the breath is relaxed, normal to less than normal breath through the nose. Take a long, slow, huge inhale through the nose, make the lungs as big and full as you can, make it uncomfortable, you're holding the lungs so big and full, so feel some space in the sacrum. And exhale into your yoga practice. Like there's a weight on your tailbone. Get nice and long and heavy into the earth. The knees maybe want to separate a little bit wider. Do no harm today in your yoga practice, folks. Practice technically correct with no goal at all as far as the physical postures goes, other than that you're healthy from practicing yoga today. So as always, it's a breath exercise first. Awareness of breath, control of breath. The ideal really is being aware of every breath you take for our 60-minute class today, thinking of nothing at all, using big muscle groups to support big postures. Keep your eyes on your drishti. A drishti is a mindless gazing point. What we're looking at is very important in our practice. It's not a stare, it's a mindless gazing point, but especially in balancing postures, the drishti is very important. The mind balances the body through the drishti, and always moving and breathing together, creating cohesive collective ashram energy. So the flow, very important. Come to a hands and knees position, please. Looking forward, not down. Jake, bring your gaze up, chest up. So keeping the gaze up, it helps keep the chest lifted. Hands and knees is a posture name, and we're not sinking into the earth right now. We're using big muscle groups to lift and support the body right now. Exhale, round your back slowly, long, slow flow. This is Bikram-based yoga. So long, slow flow, squeeze all the old breath out of the body, make it uncomfortable at the bottom. And long, slow inhale. Take your time. So we're settling into our yoga practice today by settling into pranayama, deep breathing. Push the buttocks up in the air, lift the chest up. And long, slow exhale. So again, hearing and feeling the breath is the most important part of our process this afternoon. Settling into yoga by settling into pranayama. Long, slow inhale. Perfect flow. And if it's new to you, you're just going to get acquainted today. The flow should happen naturally. We're not forcing any flow, so just feeling the flow. And long, slow exhale. It's like a wave of energy that we're creating. Squeezing all the way down to the bottom, looking at the eyes are open during your entire practice. You want to stay present in your practice. And long, slow inhale. Inhale slowly. Take your time, open the chest, push the buttocks up into the air. And long, slow exhale. Again, taking your time all the way down to the gap at the bottom of the exhale. Squeeze it, make it uncomfortable. And long, slow inhale for the last time. Make this the biggest breath that you've taken. Make it extremely uncomfortable. Push the buttocks up. And long, slow exhale all the way down to the bottom. Take your time. Squeeze it all the way down to the bottom and hold it there where it's uncomfortable in that gap at the bottom. And let the breath return to normal, looking forward, not at the earth. Bring the right arm forward and left leg back. Right arm forward and left leg back. And long and strong. So again, just like the hands and knees posture right now in our, what they call awkward airplane now, this is called spinal balancing to me. When I was a kid, we called this spinal balancing. That's about 80 years ago now. We're strong through core lifted right now. Square your hips and shoulders. So Jake, you can bring your right shoulder back. So almost everybody needs to think about bringing right shoulder back and left hip forward, really using core. And bring the arm and leg out to the side. Kurt, beautiful. Really nice. I'm going to build you a beautiful yoga practice that will last you a lifetime if you keep coming. So again, strong through core, lifted into your balancing nerve. This is a really tricky posture. If it's new to you and you think it's tricky to everybody here. Reach forward and back, square the hips and shoulders. These guys are all professional yogis. Kurt used to be an NFL player, so they know what they're doing. Look up and lift up. It's tricky for everybody here. Look up, lift up. This is one of the trickiest ones in the class. Keep breathing. Tempting to hold your breath here. Keep breathing, please. So there's no gaze change to the floor. Hands in knees position, looking forward. Square the hips and shoulders and bring the left arm forward and right leg back. Left arm forward and right leg back. And again, strong through core right now, lifted into your yoga posture. Eyes on drishti, awareness on breath. So you're going to hear me say that a lot. Eyes on drishti, awareness on breath. We want to stay present is why. So the breath number one, drishti number two, flow number three, all more important than your very best posture. I want you to be present. Bring the arm and leg out to the side. Sorry about that. Young lady, I move around you, you don't move around me. Ditto. Okay, sorry. Like dominoes here. So long and strong. Again, a very awkward posture here. They call it awkward airplane. This is called spinal balancing at the ashram, but this should be difficult right now. Everybody's challenged here. Lift into a sweet spot and reach forward and back. Square the hips and shoulders off first and look up and lift up. Continue to breathe. Again, anytime we're doing backward bends in your practice this afternoon, it's going to be a little bit challenging not to hold the breath if it's new to you. We want to keep the breath moving if it's shallow. Try to keep the gaze off the earth and hands in knees position and move to downward facing dog today. Just move right to downward. So stretch your mat long. Let downward facing dog feel good as you reach the heels towards the mat and start to walk it out here. So any variation that we do of the downward facing dog today, really feeling like you're stretching your mat long. You can wag the dog, that's rocking the hips side to side. And any variation we do, we want to really push out of the shoulders, full extension, but make a socket for the shoulders to sit in, sliding the shoulder blades down the back a little bit. Come onto the tips of the big toes, like I'm taking you by the hips and lifting you up and pulling you back simultaneously. Not allowing the weight to come forward. It's very tempting to let the weight come forward right now. So again, it's like I'm lifting you up and pulling you back, really still getting that sensation of stretching your mat long right now. And then reach the heels back down to the earth. Just a nice down dog. So we're not impatient right now to do anything else. We're not anticipating anything else. This is integration series. This is extremely important. You're setting your whole class up as yoga practice right now, not CrossFit or martial arts or anything else. You're settling into yoga right now, being present and still. Left foot moves to center lock, right leg locks out, and reach through the ball of the right foot. I had to throw a little CrossFit in there for all our CrossFitters around here. Stretch back, reach back. It's all yoga to me. That's all yoga to me. If it's keeping us healthy, if it's keeping us present, it's all yoga to me. Yeah, I'm proud of you, right? And return your right foot to your left, lock your left leg out, and reach through the ball of the left foot. Very true. Lots of usable muscle here, folks. Look at all this usable muscle we've got here. Push back, reach back. Nah, you're working too hard now. Step the left foot up between the hands. That was working awful hard. Step the right foot up. Thank you, Jake. I'd rather you work too hard than not hard enough. Hold your opposite elbows. I'm going to say that again. I have students that come in, especially in the hot room, and sometimes some students you have to really try to motivate them to work harder, to give it that 100% and squeeze all the juice out of the orange. Others, you have to teach them to turn it back just a little bit because they're working too hard. I'd rather teach somebody to slow down a little bit. Let the hands slip away from the elbows. And just as soft as we can be here right now. Just as soft and relaxed as you can be. So I would probably have my knees a little bit softer. I've got pretty deep forward bends for a guy, but I'd have my knees a little bit soft. On an inhale, begin your process of rounding up slow enough that you can feel each and every vertebra stack on top of the last, starting at your sacrum, at your tailbone, and letting the head and the arms hang heavy. And there's no hurry at all here. Eventually, do not be in any kind of hurry. Eventually, the gaze will come up. When that happens, step the toes and heels together, stand in a mountain pose, Tadasana. Be very clear that is the only time you'll round up or come up slow in your practice. The next time it comes with the inhale with the flat back, with the flow of the inhale and the flow of the yoga class. Long, slow, smooth, controlled flow. Here we go. Inhale the arms out, back and up over the head. Touch the palms, look up, give a good stretch up as they meet. Exhale, long, slow swan dive, chin away from chest, back flat to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, just like cat-cow, finding a nice flow here. And step or jump back, lowering slowly. This is all done on an exhale. Eyes off earth, look forward. Inhale, Kurt, beautiful. Look up, pull the chest forward, look all the way back. And exhale, back over the toes you go. A series, soften the knees, look out ahead of you. Step, jump, lift hips high, try to land light. Beautiful, clap. Inhale, halfway lift. Don't be afraid to fall forward today. Exhale, deeper bend, palms flat, Jake, active hands. Inhale, come up, everything's right today. Inhale, just come right up with a flat back, everybody, touch the palms. And long, slow, moving with the exhale, chin away from chest, flat back together to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or jump back, lowering slowly, smoothly. Stop and pause and look forward in chaturanga, nice and strong here. Inhale, come to up dog, pull your body forward, press the thighs up. And exhale, roll back over the toes to down dog. B series, soften the knees, look out ahead of you. So again, not at the earth, ahead of you. Step, jump, Cloudy, give them a good float between the hands. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway lift. Do you know she could do that, Dan? Exhale, deeper bend. Inhale to a chair. I taught her. I can't do it, but I taught her to. Sit down deeper. I've taught lots of people to do all kinds of things I can't do, is the truth. Sit down a little bit deeper, lift the chest a little bit higher. When you look for a good teacher, you're not looking for somebody that can necessarily do it as good as anybody in the world. You want somebody that can teach you how to do it. Sit down a little bit deeper, lift the chest. It's really a very different thing to teach. Sit down a little bit deeper, lift the chest a little bit higher. So we want kind of a awkward feeling posture here as you're lifting the chest and pushing the buttocks back like a duck butt right now. Come a little bit lower, Kurt, you're doing just beautifully. And fold smooth with exhale together down. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward, get nice and long. Step or jump back lower, slow, smooth and together looking forward. Strong core here. Inhale, come to upward facing dog. And exhale, back over the toes you go. Best down dog. Feet hip width, hands shoulder width, wrapping the lats around to the chest, making a nice socket for the shoulders to sit in. Gazing point is between the big toes and the towel or mat. Soften the knees, look out ahead of you for B series. Step, jump, Claudia, give them a good float between the hands. Perfect. Inhale, halfway lift. Look forward, lengthen the spine, release the sacrum. Exhale to a deeper forward bend. Inhale into a chair pose. Sit down nice and deep, bring the hands over there, and spread your fingers like you have a basketball between the hands. This is called Utkatasana. It really means fierce pose. As you sit down, create a nice duck butt, pushing the buttocks back, lifting the chest, spreading your fingers, making a nice socket for the shoulders to sit in. Ease your way a little bit deeper. If this is not healthy for your sacrum, you tuck the tailbone, come out of the lunge a little bit. Alex has some injuries, she's modifying. Kurt has some NFL injuries, he's modifying also. So ease your way a little bit deeper if it's safe for your sacrum, but do no harm. If it's not healthy for your neck to look up, you don't have to if you have shoulder issues, but this is traditional. Big back bend, sitting a little deeper. Jake's going to lift his chest a little higher. Jake's working real hard here. And fold, exhale, I like it. Inhale, halfway lift. That's what it takes with that muscle. Step or jump back, lowering slowly, smoothly. Inhale, Kurt, keep your thighs fired or knees on the ground, one or the other. Exhale, you get picked on today. Look between the toes. He's going, oh joy, what did I sign up for? You're doing great. Inhale the right leg up, reach back, just active core. Lunge the right foot, drop the left heel, and come to warrior one. So your feet are hip width. If you have tight hips, a little bit wider. Back foot's at 70 degrees, not 90. You want to be able to bring the left hip forward and right hip back. It's very important the left leg is locked all the way as you lift the pubic bone to the navel, drawing the abs and middle ribs in, lifting through the middle ribs and chest. We're trying to create a nice, flat, very supported spine with core strength. The palms are tight, lengthening the arms from the elbows. The thumbs are crossed. The gaze is at the outside knuckle of the thumb. As you slide the shoulder blades down the back just a little bit, making a nice socket for the shoulders to sit in. And exhale to warrior two. But what's really important is that our eyes are on our drishti and our awareness is on the breath, more than the posture. But your very best posture is technically for you. Make that a little bit bigger if knees coming over toes. Lock your back leg, see if you make it a little bit bigger as you squeeze the two heels together, feeling that nice lift out of the joints. Draw the abs and middle ribs in. Nice, big, strong warrior two. So everybody here can give me a little bit more space in our warrior twos today. You're actually pretty good. Give me a little bit more space. Cloudy, you're in that category. Give me a little more space. Jake, give me a little more space. Jake doesn't smile much. Keep a good squeeze. Turn your palms up and reach forward over the right leg. Keep pulling back on the right heel. Julie's a smile. She winks too. Cloudy's the winker actually in the bunch. Kurt, you just wink. And slide on your wall. Reverse the posture. Reach space down the right side of the torso. Reach a little compression down the left. Alex, you really popped out of that front leg. And Alex is practicing injured today too, so she's shortening things up. She's got some modifications happening, and it's really nice when we practice modification. But Cloudy does not, and she's popping out of that front leg, so come on into it and squeeze it. So this is a challenging posture, guys, that just got a lot more active for Cloudy. She came all the way into it. Beautiful. And cartwheel to a plank posture, looking forward. Hold it in the high position. Move the left hand to center. Bring the left knee on the ground. Make sure the wrist joint is stacked under shoulder. Stack the joints. Look at the tip of the right thumb and rotate your right hand up. Lifted through your right middle rib cage. Your core is strong as you draw the abs and middle ribs in.
So there's no backward bend creeping into the posture. Kurt, beautiful. And ideally the foot is right under your leg, not back behind your body. It's perfect. And advance the posture. Alex got a big smile when I said that. Lift the leg up nice and high. I like that. This is a great group here. Wrap the right lat around toward your chest. If you're extended, stay right there, Kurt. Beautiful focus. Perfect. Foot down, hand up. Look to the tip of the thumb. Alex and Kurt, stay right there, please. Jake, can you draw your abs and middle ribs in? Flatten your back out for me, Jake. And rotate to a plank. Move the right hand, lower slowly, move the body forward. We'll even you up in a moment. Inhale, come to up dog, look all the way back. And exhale, come to down dog. And to me, making mistakes in yoga class as a student or a teacher is kind of part of our process. Ideally, we're not thinking too much. We want to just hear with the ears and do with the body. My yoga teacher called it the unstudied flow. So once in a while this happens. So we don't give it error, the nothingness of error. We don't give it any attention at all, just right back to the perfection of what we're doing. Three-legged dog to warrior one, left leg, inhale the left leg up. Lunge the left foot, drop the right heel, hip square, warrior one. Beautiful, and we've got nice flow going. And the flow ideal, I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again, the flow ideally should be happening very naturally. We're not forcing the flow by staying present and hearing with the ears and doing with the body. It just kind of happens like spokes on a wheel. We're moving and breathing together. From the ground up again, your best posture, back leg locked, hip square, really making a nice flat back. Continue to squeeze the elbows together, lengthening the arms. If you're tight through upper back and shoulders, this is a challenging posture. Jake, can you get your arms a little tighter? I'm going to pick on Jake today. He's not going to like me much afterward. And warrior two, exhale, just open it right up. Make your warriors big, folks. I've literally been doing this my whole life, and there is nothing at all easy about a good warrior two to me. Squeeze the heels, Cloud, you gotta be bigger. Push your heel back and diminish the angle of that back foot a little bit, and give it a good squeeze. Give me some more space. Left thigh parallel, lifted through the chest, drawing the abs and middle ribs in. So nice, there you heard me. Draw the abs and middle ribs and get that nice lift. A little more extension through arms. Jake's been lifting weights. Turn the palms up and reach forward over the left leg. Beautiful. And the more muscle you got, the more you've been doing resistance training, things like this, you do have to work a little bit harder with the posture. Would you say that's true? You just have to work a little harder with all that muscle. Keep the squeeze, at least I did, and reverse the posture. That was a pretty good yoga week. Reach space down the left side of the body, reach compression down the right side. Keeping that nice tight squeeze and keeping your core strong right now. So it'll stay really active, lifted through your left middle rib cage. And cartwheel to a plank. Holding the high position, looking forward, the right hand moves to center. Make sure the wrist is under the shoulder, right knee under the hip. Look at the tip of the left thumb, and together rotate. Open. Open rotation. I'm going to be repetitive intentionally. This is just like our hands and knees posture we talked about earlier. We're using big muscle groups to support. So your lat and a little muscle called the serratus is really lifting right now through the left middle rib cage. Looking at the tip of the left thumb this time, nice and flat and strong through core. And advance the posture here if it's in your practice to advance. Keep your abs and draw your middle ribs in. Abs and middle ribs drawn in, beautiful. Nothing easy about this old Kurt. This is just beautiful. Solid. Foot down, hand up, focus. Focus. And rotate to a plank. Guys, beautiful. Eyes forward, please. Engage your core. And lower slowly, move the body forward. Strong, low plank. Fire your thighs, fire your thighs, fire your thighs. Inhale, you gotta keep those thighs fired. And exhale, over the toes you go. So one of the reasons that I'm so adamant about people keeping the thighs lifted or knees to the ground in our low hold chaturanga, or the low plank or chaturanga position, is we don't want to stress the sacrum. And either knees down for support, or by lifting the thighs, active thighs support our sacrum. So we really want to keep that nice strong. Nothing should drop below elbows but the knees in that low hold. And part of what helps us is keeping the gaze up and not dropping the gaze down so the shoulders are following, the thighs are lifted. All right, what do we do next? Warrior 1 to 3 today. Inhale the right leg up is what we do next. Lunge the right foot, drop the left heel. Warrior 1, moving with the inhale with nice flow. To Warrior 3, push and lift. Warrior 2, inhale, exhale, lower the right leg. Warrior 1, moving with the inhale with nice flow. To Warrior 3, push and lift. Warrior 1, moving with the inhale with nice flow. To Warrior 3, push and lift. Warrior 1, moving with the inhale with nice flow. To Warrior 3, push and lift. Warrior 1, moving with the inhale with nice flow. To Warrior 3, push and lift. Warrior 1, moving with the inhale with nice flow. To Warrior 3, push and lift. Warrior 1, moving with the inhale with nice flow. To Warrior 3, push and lift. Warrior 1, moving with the inhale with nice flow. To Warrior 3, push and lift. Warrior 1, moving with the inhale with nice flow. To Warrior 3, push and lift. Warrior 1, moving with the inhale with nice flow. To Warrior 3, push and lift. Warrior 1, moving with the inhale with nice flow. To It's just an inhale to an exhale. Warrior 1 to 2, arms up. Get a good drishti, something to look at, and keep your arms and chest lifted. Like you're lifting weights, lift the leg. Keep the right leg locked all the way, arms up, chest up. Looking at the outside knuckle of the thumb is your drishti right now. Outside knuckle of the thumb is your drishti. Arms up, chest up. Warrior 1, beautiful hold, everybody. Come to nice Warrior 1 now. It doesn't matter now what you did. It matters now what you're doing is Warrior 1. We don't care what happened. Turn it into a lunge today. It's called Anjaneyasana. By bringing the heel up and hip forward, lock the back leg and square the hips off towards the front of our yoga space today. Draw the abs and middle ribs in, lifted through the middle ribs, just like our Warrior 1, a nice, straight, flat, supported spine. A little bit easier in this posture if you have tight hips. And all we're going to do today is this. Bring the prayer to the heart. Get your front foot nice and straight for me, Jake. Front foot right and straight. Bring your right heel up. There it is. So I want you to lock the back leg all the way and make it burn. And pull back on the right heel a little bit. And make your back nice and flat. And bring the heel all the way up over the ball of the foot as you lock the leg. Inhale together today. And hands on the floor, moving down and forward, slow with flow. Inhale together, pull the chest forward, press the thighs up. And exhale back over the toes you go. And same thing on the left leg. Inhale the left leg up, move with flow. Lunge the left foot, drop the right heel, always moving with flow. Warrior 1 to Warrior 3. Everybody, you're doing great. Long and strong. So Alex has got a beautiful example of a modified posture. Even though her arms are, chest is lifted, gaze up. Keep the gaze up, keep the chest up. Beautiful, Kurt. Arms up a little higher if you can. Lift it up, reach it out. Now be determined now. It's heavy weight. It's heavy weight. Lift the heavy weight. Lift the heavy weight. Warrior 1. Kurt, beautiful. Excellent, everybody. Turn it into a lunge. Jake, perfect. Hip forward. So the right hip comes forward as you square the hips. The feet are hip width in Anjaneyasana. We want the feet to be hip width here. So your balance is not an issue. Giving your sacrum a little bit of space. Again, really squaring the hips. Right hip forward, left hip back. Lifting the pubic bone to the navel as you draw the abs and middle ribs in tightly. Look out of here just a little more. Yeah, you can. And bring the prayer to the heart. That was totally collapsed. I couldn't tell if it was muscly or collapsed. Do you feel it? Lock the back leg all the way, and sit down into it. Thank you. You heard me. Inhale together. Do a great job. And hands on the floor, moving down and forward, all connected on an exhale. Fire your thighs. Lift your thighs up. Inhale. You got to keep those thighs lifted, folks, in the low plank. Exhale, over the toes you go. Triangle pose, right leg. Inhale the right leg up. Lunge the right foot, drop the left heel. 45 degrees this time. Straighten both legs. Take the right ankle with the right hand. Lift, lengthen, and rotate open. Lift it through your left middle rib cage. So I teach this posture with a good grip in the right hand. I want you to lift up out of the bottom shoulder as you look up and lift up. And look at the tip of the thumb, spreading the fingers in the left hand. So we're feeling space through the wrist, through the elbow, through the shoulder joints. In both hands, feeling that nice space. Strong through core again here, always working what's called a mula and a uddiyana bandha that we might talk about a little later in this class. Keeping the chest lifted, rotate the left hand down. The chest is lifted, square the hips and shoulders off. So they should want to kind of square themselves naturally here. So I can put a glass of water on your sacrum and have it stay there right now. Take your right ankle with the left hand and reach straight up. Tuck the left shoulder under as you bring the chin into the right shoulder, gazing at the tip of the right thumb. Beautiful. And we really want to lift up out of the bottom shoulder right now, not leaning into it. So we're trying to create that warrior 2 arm sensation happening here. And rotate the right hand down. Lift into balancing airplane pose. Lifting the chest, lifting the leg, lifting the arms, not lifting the hips. So the feeling here is that the foot remains flat to the ceiling right now, or to the sky if you're outside. Chest lifted, chin away. Keep your eyes on your dude. Now you can stay here or open to half moon. And it is fine to stay here right now. In fact, I might find it even more challenging to stay in the airplane. Alex is working hard right now, and she's about as good as it gets. Back to airplane, lift your arms and chest, keep lifting, keep lifting, keep lifting. Just come right to it. Don't get stuck in that muddy middle stuff. Rotate, you can stay in airplane, I keep lifting. It's a heavy weight now. The leg's heavy, the chest is heavy. The leg's heavy, the chest is heavy. Airplane, lift the leg. Warrior 1, Kurt, beautiful. Warrior two, exhale, arms over the legs. You've been a little lazy in my public classes. You are a pro athlete. Look at that. That's beautiful yoga there, buddy. Make it nice and big, everything bigger, everything stronger. And bring the right elbow to the inside of the right knee. That's some really solid stuff. Lift through the back thigh, keep the squeeze. How important is it? This is a really big deal in practicing the yoga. How important is it when you show up really for your very best today? Bind or half bind. As a yoga, this is a big part of my job as a yoga teacher, is really trying to bring out the best in my students every time they come, motivating them to really perform at 100%. Keep the chest lifted, keep the nice tight squeeze as you look up. If you're bound, extend. Looking at the active hands. Let's get active everywhere. Press back to big warrior two poses, looking forward. Establishing that nice big warrior two base, good squeeze happening through the heels here. And cartwheel to a plank. Hold the high position looking forward. We always look forward in transition. Left hand moves to center, just an inch or two so the wrist is directly under the shoulder. Look at the tip of the right thumb and rotate open. And you can support if you need to support here. Keep your hips up. Stack your feet nicely, hips up. Lifted through the right middle rib cage, pushing your hips up. Ideally, you have a straight line heel to armpit right now, but if you're erring by hips too high, not collapsed. If you do want to advance the posture, advance it. There's lots of variations. We have different variations. Just stay right. This is a really challenging one. Stay there, and stay there. Lift the weight. Keep the hips up. Stay there and stay there. And rotate back to a plank posture. Falling in love with your boyfriend. And lower slowly. Move forward. Exhale. Inhale up dog. Look all the way back. He's doing great. Exhale down dog. Roll over the toes. Triangle on the left. Inhale the left leg up. Let's move. Lunge the left foot, right heel 45. He hasn't been doing this that long. He's working hard. Straighten both legs. Triangle, Jake. I love that you're not thinking, though. So Jake just had a momentary lapse of reason. He's done this. Jake's been doing this since he was 12. He's probably had, I don't know. I've taught probably 10,000 classes. He's probably had 9,000 of them, something like that. And Jake's been trained to hear with the ears and do with the body. So I just had a little moment there where I lapsed in dialogue, and everybody knew what they were doing triangle, but Jake has been trained to hear with the ears and do with the body. This is what I like. Lift, just get your core nice and strong. So that's correct. What I'm saying is that's correct. And rotate the right hand down. Hear with the ears, do with the body. Lift the chest up, square the hips and shoulders. I want to be able to put a glass of water on your sacrum right here. Take the left ankle with the right hand and reach straight up, tucking your right shoulder under this time. So really, the key to this posture is you've really got to go for it, guys. Halfway, there's no bounce. You've got to tuck the right shoulder in and commit to the gaze and really open it up with the gaze. The gaze is going to open you up as you look into the left shoulder. Get out of the bottom shoulder, guys. Lift the chest, tuck the right shoulder. One last moment. Excellent. And rotate the left hand down. Really careful that we don't get too twisty there. It's just a rotation. Move into balancing airplane pose. We still want to use our core and stay as straight as possible in these twists. So looking at the earth, just know this is challenging. Chest and leg up. Keep them up. Don't move your eyes open. There's a wall behind you. It gets easier when you find the wall. But keep the chest and leg lifted. Good foot lock. Push the big toe ball of the left foot into the floor and keep the lift. And don't be afraid of falling beyond your edge. You can do this. Be determined now. Airplane pose. Lift the leg, the chest, and the arms. The eyes do not move. Now the leg gets heavy. Rotate if you did. Just like you're lifting weights. Know the leg and the chest get heavy and be really determined. You have to be determined. Everybody's shaking here. Everybody's shaking, not just you. Stay there. Airplane pose. Airplane pose. Warrior one. Beautiful. Come to warrior one. It doesn't matter. Mistakes do not matter. Warrior two. Exhale. According to Charles Darwin, you are a mistake. True. You're a wonderful mistake, but you are a mistake. Open your shoulders up. Jake, usable muscle. Has he been lifting weights? Bring your arm down a little bit. And left elbow to the inside of the left knee. Keep the chest lifted. And we really couldn't ask for a better group here today, guys. Just strong yoga. Oh, elbow to knee, Jake. Elbow to knee. That's all right. I love it. I like it. And keep the squeeze. Cloudy, give me a little more space. And nice and strong through core, so we want to keep that nice strong core. I like it. This is correct. And bind or half bind. The yoga is that we can learn to slip to the right side of the brain as we're practicing. It's really a moving meditation. So we don't want to think. Mistakes are going to happen. You hear with the ears, you do with the body. We're not having self-talk about our practice. Keep the squeeze, keep the nice lift, keep the core engaged. The breath is the most important part of your practice right now. If you're bound, extend. Look up to the tip of the thumb. Keep a nice squeeze, keep the chest lifted. Push back to big warrior two pose, looking forward. Squeeze it. Cloudy, give me more space by pushing the heel back and diminishing the angle of the foot. Big space. Big space. She loves me. Do you love me, Claudia? And cartwheel to a plank posture. This is my wife. Move the right hand to center. Stack the left foot on top of the right. And rotate the other way, right? And don't worry about mistakes. Rotate up. And we were talking before we filmed this about editing mistakes, and we don't want to edit mistakes. Mistakes happen in yoga. People fall. People don't hear. People are trained to hear with the ears and do with the body. If I don't say, they don't do it. Advance the posture. And really own the advance. So nothing easy about holding this posture. If you fall, fall back on your butt. Keep the hips up. If you fall, fall supported and on your butt with your hips up. Butt, hips up. Butt, hips up. Rotate with control to a plank. With control. Excellent. And lower slowly. Move forward with the exhale. Pause. Inhale, come to up dog. So really bring the shoulders down, pressing the thighs up. And exhale, roll over the toes. Press back to downward facing dog. Lunging on the right leg, inhale the right leg up. Lunge the right foot, stand the ball of the left, and bring the hands straight up, shoulder width up over that. Straight up, shoulder width. Wrap the lats around the chest. So immediately supporting the posture, if you need to, by bringing the knee under the hip, stacking the joints nicely. It's kind of a universal principle in yoga, but a lot of athletics, stacking the joints nicely. I imagine CrossFit would be consistent, is it? And bring the prayer to the heart. So nice, strong back left leg, keeping the hips square, strong core. Look over the right shoulder. Do not drop your left hip or thigh. Bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Keep your back thigh lifted. Lock the back leg. And you're going to stay right there, Kurt. Bring the chin into the shoulder. So really go for maximum rotation. And if it's in your practice to extend the arms open, you can. You do not need to. And Alex has beautiful joint stacking happening. Look at these beautiful joint stacks everywhere happening here. And bind or half bind, only if it's in your practice today to do the half bind. Perfect. Everybody working perfectly for their body. Kurt, this is a challenging hold for your body type. Hold, stay right here and breathe it out. You are earning so much respect from me right now, you don't even know. Bound, extend, stay right there. You're almost done. Prayer twist, stay there, stay there, stay there. Now lift the chest to come to center. Lock your back leg out. Low center of gravity. Sit down and do it. And hands on the earth, moving down and forward, all on an exhale. Slow down, slow down. Inhale, I'm never going to rush you. There's always time. There's always time. And exhale, over the toes you go. Left leg, inhale the left leg up. Boom, boom. Lunge the left foot, stay on the ball of the right, hands straight up over the head. So with just like warrior one, coming up with the inhale, the back leg is locked all the way. The heel is high over the ball of the foot or knee on the ground supported, stacking the joints nicely, nothing in between. Strong core, sit in the hips, shaking square hips a little more. Right hip forward, left hip back. Bring the prayer to the heart. Look over the left shoulder. Lock your right leg like a lamppost. Bring the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, pushing through the big toe ball of the foot, chest lifted, strong posture. Back leg locked, and breathe it out and settle into a tough hold. Go as deep as you can go here with the back leg locked, chest lifted, and extend the arms open if you need to, if you did it on the other side. And again, nice joint stacks, nice decisions made everywhere, everybody working hard. Bind or half bind. Everybody working hard in this posture here, folks. There's no one, everybody's at 100% here. Keep the chest lifted. Julie's got her game face on. Stay there. Don't let me talk you out of it by saying that. Bound, extend, stay there, stay there, stay there. Prayer twist. Lock the back leg. Lift the chest and sit down into a low center of gravity as you lock the back leg. Excellent again. And hands on the earth, moving down and forward. Slow down, slow down. Inhale, settle in. There's never a hurry. Long, slow flow always. And exhale, over the toes you go. Best down dog in this moment, please. Soften the knees, coil a spring. Look out ahead of you, not between the hands. Step, jump, float. Cloudy, give him a good float. Inhale, lift halfway. She's pretty good. Exhale, deeper bend. Come up, inhale, flat back. Everybody come up. A series up, touch the palms, look up. And prayer to the heart. Arms to your side. Establish standing pose. This is traditionally called a mountain pose or Tadasana. Bikram calls it a standing pose. I kind of like standing pose. What's important is that we're practicing yoga in a posture. This is the most important posture in a standing series to me. Pick up your right foot, take your right ankle with your right hand. Bring your right foot anywhere you want to on the inside of your left leg, above or below the knee joint. Bring the prayer to the heart. Perfect. Trying to bring the knee back as you lift through the chest, rooted through the left foot like the roots of a tree and through the leg like the roots of a tree, strong through your trunk or torso like the trunk of a tree. Bring the hands up over the head looking forward and spread your fingers open, shoulder width. And like the lunge, making a nice socket for the shoulders to sit in as you wrap the lats around the chest. The middle back should feel wide right here. Eyes don't wander. Lifted through chest, balancing low. Chest lifted, good leg lock. Bring the prayer to the heart. Try to keep the hands in a prayer and release with control the right leg down. If you need to use the hands, that's fine. Stay in posture, please. So hands in prayer, Claudia. Hands in prayer, Jake. This is a posture. This is called Samastahiti Namaskar. It basically means that you're standing at attention in a prayer right now. Pick up the left foot. He's working hard. Take the left ankle with the left hand. I love it. Bring the left heel to the inside. I'd be dripping like that too. Chest lifted, strong through foot, strong through leg, strong through core. Bring the hands up over the head, but always number one, awareness of breath. Eyes on drishti as we're present with our yoga practice, moving with the natural flow of your yoga class. Bringing the prayer to the heart, the back lengthens and flattens. Strong through core. And release the left leg down. Mountain pose. We'll call it standing pose. 2 more standing postures. Left hand on the left hip, the left leg locks like a lamppost. Pick up your right knee nice and high and either hook the big toe with the first 2 fingers or interlace your fingers around the shin. Equally correct options, whatever's healthy for you. So lifted through the chest, square your shoulders, strong through core. If you have the toe hooked, extend the right heel forward to the front of your yoga space today. So it's not important if you can hook the toe. It's not important if you can straighten the leg. What's important is that we're learning to stand for, we'll say 30, 40 seconds on one leg. Bring the leg out to the side if you're advanced. So again, what's important is that we can hold that nice base right now. And then eventually it's like you're standing and stretching. Julie and Claudia is kind of standing and stretching right now. And come back to center position. Hold the base, please. If you're extended, come to base. Hold the base. Hold the base, everybody. And standing pose. Release into a yoga posture, standing pose. Right hand on the right hip, right leg locks. Pick up the left knee nice and high. And again here, either hook the big toe or interlace around the shin. Equally correct. So the first thing I'm doing is eyes on drishti, lifting my chest, getting a good solid base here. And extend the left heel forward if it's in your practice. Again, the good base is what I care about. I am a big fan of holding bases. Bring the leg out to the side if you did on the other side. Claudia hates practicing yoga with me because I have a really basic, bend your elbow, Claudia, give it a pull. I have a really basic yoga practice, but I hold postures a long time, and sometimes there's bases I'll hold a long time, and she wants to do all her fancy stuff. Back to center position that I can't do anymore because I've got more muscle and I'm almost 60 years old, getting old. Back to base. Feel my pain. And release into mountain pose. Stand in mountain pose. Left hand reaches to the ceiling, right elbow on the right hip. Palm faces up. Bring the right hand straight back behind you. So there's no twisting here. It's like pulling an archer's bow. The right shoulder already starts to come back behind the left. Touch the knees together, so stand straight up and stretch your shoulders. Kick straight back and reach straight forward. To me, this is a standing shoulder stretch, so I want you to really keep the chest lifted and kick. And open the shoulders. When there's nowhere else to go with that energy, then the body starts to come forward. Chest lifted, stay on the kick. Don't bring your chest down any further than that. Stay right there, stay right there. Now, Claudia, you can charge it down, you can charge it down. There's nothing wrong with you, Alex. And come back out nicely. Alex is supposed to be practicing modified. You said beautiful standing bow and standing pose. You don't even know how to modify a standing bow, do you? Nope. Right hand reaches up. Left elbow on the left hip. Palm faces up. Bring the left hand straight back behind you. Pick up the ankle from the inside. Well, usually mean you can't get your ankle, right? True. No, I want you to do it on this side. Do it, show it off. Touch your knees together, lift the chest, open it up, show it off. And kick straight back and reach straight forward. Just do it though, own it, drive the car. So you can't really be careful and do balancing postures. You have to care. It's different. There's all kinds of things you can't do if you're careful. You have to care. Throw a ball, kick a ball, all kinds of stuff. Kick and reach and keep the chest up and put as much energy and just open your shoulders and stretch it open. Drive the body down, Claudia. Drive it down, Claudia. Drive it down, Claudia. Now reach for your base. Come out nice. Make it important to reach for the base. Make it important to reach for the base. Lift the chest. Bring the left knee back. Bring the left knee back. And standing pose. Dead pose. Head towards the front of your space, feet to me. So this is a very important transition in our yoga sequence here, folks. This nice clean transition into dead pose. There's no water break. There's not scratching or itching or adjusting costume or talking to your neighbor about the standing series. We settle in and close the eyes today. It's going to be practiced eyes open or closed. Today, close the eyes and just really settle into being in dead body pose. What I teach is really called Kriya Yoga. And Kriya Yoga is all about surrender. In yoga, we often call it dead pose, but it's all about this, being able to relax the body, being able to relax the breath, being able to relax the mind. And not through effort or concentration, but through devotion and practice, eventually thinking of nothing at all in the dead body pose but your breath. Calm, peaceful, in union. Whatever that means to you at your present level of understanding, in union. Eventually, there's just breath in the dead body pose. I wish there was a way that I could communicate the energy that I can feel from this group of people right now. Can you guys feel it? You feel the energy they produce? It's really strong, what we produce. Please remain in dead pose, but slowly open the eyes. And eventually that's seamless. Eyes open or closed doesn't make any difference. Still seated firmly in the self. Bend the right knee up into the chest, interlace your fingers down to the webbing. This is part of the posture, a good grip, and pull the right knee into the right shoulder, avoiding the rib cage. Flex your toes back on the left leg so the back of the left leg is in contact with the ground. Feeling a nice opening through the hip and through the lower back. And this isn't just nice for settling into working hard on the floor. In Bikram yoga, this is done to prepare the intestines for our spinal strengthening series. And release the right leg down. Bring the left leg up. Change your grip and pull the left knee into the left shoulder. Again, getting a nice opening through the hip, through the low back, flexing the toes back in the right foot this time. Beautiful. So again, we want to feel that nice opening through your sacrum, through the hip, through the low back right now. And just settling into working on the floor. And release the left leg down. Bring both knees into the chest. Give yourself a big bear hug around the shins. And grab your opposite elbows. Squeeze the knees into the chest, stretching your heels towards the earth. Your gazing point, so you continue to try, really give it some good effort to get your elbows if you can. Kurt, try your very best. I'll give you $1 billion if you can get your elbows. Gazillion billion. You have to have them back on the floor. Now squeeze them in and stretch your heels. I'll tell you what, I'll buy you dinner tonight. And release the legs up to the ceiling. Everybody, legs up, hands under the hips, palms down. Slowly lower the legs. There was a lot of effort there. Bring the legs down. Eyes open now for the remainder of your practice, please. Palms up, eyes open. Again, just settling immediately into dead pose. So this is part of the art of our yoga, is being able to go in and out of dead pose, in and out of action to activity. And it's just, we want it to be like you're changing caps, like an actor changing emotions in a role. Inhale your arms over the head, flex your feet back, cross the thumbs. Dive for the toes, double pump, double exhale. And lie down on your stomach for our spinal strengthening series. So again, we want that same nice flow here, just lying down, not scratching or itching or doing anything else. Hands under the shoulders, arms close, elbows high. Lock your legs, moving with the dialogue. Exhale and pull on inhale. On inhale, pulling with the legs, pulling with the low back muscles, really pulling your elbows back towards your hips right now, but not pushing with the hands. The hands are on the floor, giving your sacrum a little bit of support, but really strengthening the legs and low back muscles is the goal. And come down slowly. left ear on the ground to look right, and again, settling into dead body pose. And just to be clear, we don't want the shoulders to come down and back like an up dog, just down. We want the back to come up nice and flat, really isolating the low back muscles in that posture. This is important, taking a moment just to get that complete release here in the dead pose from the last posture. Chin flat on the earth, or floor in this case. Look forward. I've been teaching in the park a lot. Hands under the shoulders, lock the legs out. Bring the heels of the hands to your hips this time, to the waistline. You might have to move them back after you're up if you got a lot of muscle in your shoulders and upper back, like all these people do. Lock your legs out, and on inhale, push your chest up and lift your thighs. And this is an athletic system of yoga. This is for everybody. Anybody at any athletic level can practice this, any experience level, but this is an athletic system, and we have some athletic people demonstrating our yoga today. Lock the legs all the way, squeeze them tight. Push with your triceps so shoulders and elbows are the same height, and lift the upper thighs all the way up off the floor as you push and breathe. And come down slowly. This time the right ear is on the ground, the gaze is left, arms at your side, palms up, arms and legs heavy, the jaw is soft, practicing dead body pose. Chin flat on the earth. We're going to keep this really simple today. Hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. We'll be doing 2 sets of these last 2 postures here. Lock the arms out, arms high, lock the legs out, make your cobra's tail, really squeeze the legs. Lock them out. Inhale, everything up. Lock your legs out, guys. So the cobra's tail is so important here that we've got that nice tight squeeze. There should be no space between the legs ideally. No bend in the knees. Lock them out, upper thighs up, middle ribs up. Bring the arms out to the side. And notice you can lift a little bit higher here. It's just the way body mechanics work. Bring the hands out in front of you, shoulder width. Bring the feet hip width. And notice you can lift a little bit higher here. Just the pelvic girdle in contact with the floor right now, ideally. Lower abdomen up, upper thighs up, and breathe, breathe. Down slowly, again, beautiful. Left ear on the ground, look right, and immediately, eyes open, settling into the release of a dead body pose. All of the real benefit is happening here from everything that's been completed in our yoga sequence. Letting prana, letting energy circulate through open energy channels in the body right now by just simply surrendering and breathing. Chin flat on the floor. Bend the knees, bring the heels to the hips. And grab your feet, thumbs with the fingers 2 inches below the toes. Try to keep feet, knees, heels 6 inches apart. Press the lower abdomen into the earth. And on inhale, extend both legs up to the ceiling. If this doesn't feel good on your knees on any given day, please be careful or don't do it. Kick it up, pick it up, stretch it up. Give me a little more energy in that right leg, Jake. Pick it up, pick that right leg up, pick it up, kick it up, pick it up. Go, everybody, go now. Bring the pelvic girdle up and come forward. Weight in the lower abdomen, weight in the lower abdomen with the kick. Kick it up and down slowly. To right ear on the ground, to look left and settle into dead body pose. I think that's right, isn't it? Once every, 5, 6 years, I make a mistake. Chin flat on the floor. What are you laughing at, wifey? Hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, lock the, one more time. Straight arms, straight legs. Straight arms, straight legs, Kurt, straight legs, Kurt. That's all right. Nobody, you're used to Bikram. He's a Bikram guy. Lock the arms out, lock the legs out, arms high, and inhale everything up. There's no mistakes. Our best effort. It's about the work. It's about the journey. The journey is the reward, right? Arms up, legs up. Bring the arms out to the side. My yoga teacher used to say that all the time. I still don't really know what he was talking about. Hands out in front of you, shoulder width, feet hip width. Lift the arms up, lift the legs up, look up and lift up, everybody. And down slowly to left ear on the ground. Look right and settle in. My yoga teacher used to say things all the time that I really didn't understand until I started practicing hot yoga. And as soon as I started practicing hot yoga, all these things that he said would make sense. He used to say the art of the art is the art that conceals the art. I like that one. What does that mean, though? The art of the art is the art that conceals the art. Chin flat on the earth. I learned in the Bikram yoga room what that means. Bend the knees, heels to the hips. Do you know Alex? You do. I've also trained Alex very well. She knows everything I know. Press the soft part of the belly into the floor. You will. Kick straight up to the ceiling. I want you guys to know everything I know. Knowledge is meant to be shared. Experience is meant to be shared, right? Kick forward, make everybody stronger and better. But give me a good kick here. Don't modify this. Let's see a bow. Go, go, go. Go, go. Everybody, best bow. Kick it up, pick it up, stretch it up. Beautiful, Kurt. And down slowly, much better. Jake, you opened up on that first one. Right ear on the ground, look left, dead body pose. I mean, these are some beautiful practices here today, guys. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of these guys, they're all teachers, but Kurt was a pro athlete. But you see that it's not perfect. Everybody's making mistakes. There's little errors here and there. This is not a perfect science. Roll over onto your back. It's funny, I've known both times you're right on. Bottoms of the feet flat to the ceiling. Pull the knees down towards the earth. Tucking the chin. So the base of the neck is flat on the floor, but we're pulling the knees down. Very important, stacking the joints nicely again here. Very good. So I'm going to be repetitive. We're tucking the chin, but the base of the neck stays flat on the floor. The goal is to bring the entire spine from the base of the neck all the way down to your coccyx or your tailbone onto the floor. If you're just feeling this in thighs and in hips, you're tight. So if you start to kick into the hands, but not straightening legs, bringing the energy into the earth right now, if you kick into the hands, it's going to bring it into your sacrum. But also your heart rate's going to go up because we're using some really big muscle groups. Release the tension first if you're kicking. Stretch the legs out. Arms at your side, palms up, eyes open, dead body pose. Everything we've done has been warming you up for these last postures. We only have a few more postures left. Renew your energy, renew your interest, and let's work hard for our final dead pose. Inhale your arms overhead, flex your feet back, cross the thumbs, and dive for the toes. This is a posture, forehead to the knees, double pump, double exhale, Bikram yoga. And come to the top of the towel, standing on the knees for what's called a camel pose. This is Ustrasana. Feet, knees, heels are 6 inches apart. Knees can be a little wider if you're doing one set today. Fingers down, thumbs on outside. Bring the elbows as close as comfortable, bringing the shoulders down and back. Lift through the thighs, draw your low abs in, look back and go back supported. So go back supported into the posture as you push the hips forward, lifted through the chest, and then reach back if it's in your yoga practice to reach back. Right hand to right heel, left hand to left heel. It is not more or less correct to reach back or not. There's not a goal to be able to one day reach back. It's just simply what's healthy for you. Some days Claudia supports it, some days she goes back. I would say I'm in the same boat. Jake's probably in the same boat. Hips forward. And come back up supported in the posture, supporting the posture. Always taking the time to sit back, hips to heels, to release the sacrum. And then dead body pose. Come to dead body pose. Eyes are open in dead body pose. Arms and legs are heavy. The face is soft. The awareness goes to breath. And if there's thought, there's thought. We don't resist it. We don't concentrate against it. We innocently continue to go back to breath until that's all there is breath. One more back bend of your choice. You can do another camel pose if you'd like to, or you can do a wheel pose. 1, 2, 3. If you're doing the camel, do the sit-up. And everybody, let's do it. Boom, boom. Claudia, quit thinking about it. Do it. Too much self-talk? No good. I'm not a big fan of self-talk. The intellect is meant to be turned outward, not inward. Push the hips up, push the chest forward, really driving in your wheel pose. Camel pose, we want that bow type tension. So both postures really are bow poses right now. We want to feel that bow tension happening right now. And come back up supported, walk it out if you're in your upward facing bow. And always release sacrum, please. And everybody find your dead body pose. We're going to have a nice flow into the dead body pose. Settling into dead pose is the art of the art, especially in the hot yoga room. Settling into dead pose is the art of the art. Back release of your choice. So we're going to stay very present with our yoga practice here. And it could be that just lying in a dead pose is a back release for you. That would be fine right now. But we'll just take that moment to release the sacrum. And then come to shoulder stand pose. It's called Sarvangasana. Sarvangasana. Alex is doing the modification here. But if you're coming all the way into Sarvangasana, the throat, the uncomfortable feeling through the throat, this choked sensation through the throat, is part of the yoga posture right here. So drawing the abs and middle ribs and really making the nice cobra's tail. The goal of this posture, the benefit from this posture is from draining deoxygenated blood from the big muscles in the legs to the heart, where it can drain to the brain and then become oxygenated. Giving you energy, second wind after your practice. Come to a plow pose. It's called Halasana. Bringing the feet towards the front of your yoga space. This posture is doing multiple things. Again, we have that throat lock happening right now. Closing the heart chakra. This is an important posture in your yoga class right now and really opening up your sacrum. not forcing the feet to the ground, and the knees can be bent. If the feet are coming to the ground, Claudia and Julie have their feet on the ground, you can point your toes and walk them further forward to the front of the space if you want to. And a nice stretch on the neck is okay, but we don't want any gotchas or ow. And come back down for twisted pose. Either come to a seated twist position or supta. Claudia, come to seated, please. Just for a demonstration. And set it up nice joint to joint. So pulling the right in, releasing, and then twist the body. There's no mistakes. And then twist. And now we do want to bring the right hip up, stacking the right hip joint over the left hip joint. Again, stacking the joints. There's very few exceptions to stacking the joints in yoga. Reaching with the right hand right now. Bringing space into your right QL. That's it. And just staying with your nice breath as the chest is lifted. Perfect spinal twists. And back to center position. Kurt, you've raised the bar. And release the right leg down. That was pretty nice practice there. Bring the left knee up. That was a pro practice for your body. And twist 100%. I used to have a high school wrestling coach that would say 101%. Everybody ever heard that? 101%. How about 100? Let's really do our what would trying to achieve 101 produce? Struggle, right? It would produce force and it would produce struggle. But we can learn to work right at our present level of perfection, right at 100%. Your best version of yourself. That's what this is all about. Be your best version of yourself. Come back to center position. And let truth reveal itself to you through practice. Stay at your present level of perfection. Let truth reveal itself. Release into dead body pose. Close your eyes. It's very important that you understand clearly you don't have to do anything. You already did it. Everything you've done was designed to prepare you to do this. To be still, to be present, to be whole, to be the divine self that you are. Closer than breath, nearer than near. I am aware. Take a long, slow, huge inhale through the nose. Make the lungs as big and uncomfortably full as you can make them. Hold them big and full. And let go and fall. And practice dead body pose by just breathing. Namaste.